Hi and welcome back to AI in 5. I'm your host, Simon Chris, and joining me today from a sunny London is Darshna Shah. Darshna's the Chief AI Officer for ElastiCloud, and we're going to be talking about what is a day in the life of a Chief AI Officer. Hi Darshna, welcome to AI in 5. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Simon. It's lovely to be here with you today.
It's great to have you on. It's great to have a female AI lead on the show that comes from a pedigree background, data science, and a PhD in neuroscience. But I want to focus on the role that you do right now as Chief AI Officer and help the listeners understand what is a typical day for a Chief AI Officer.
Absolutely, Simon. So the Chief AI role has come about quite recently. I think you'll see a lot of Forbes and Gartner references to how quickly the role has developed over the last few years.
Yep.
A typical day for me is quite varied, actually. So it can be anything from keep on kind of continuously refining our data and AI strategy and working with customers to help them define theirs. So we are a data science and AI consultancy. So a lot of our kind of responsibility and stewardship focuses on kind of leading our customers down that journey of developing whether they are actually AI ready. Surprisingly, that gap seems to widen and widen across some industries more than others, as to whether they are in the position to actually get fruitful results from AI solutions. Working actually actively on AI solutions, particularly those ones that are strategically aligned to our core kind of industries, that being legal, energy, finance, and security. Also kind of fostering that kind of talent within the organization to make sure that we're continuously building. We have that safe area to play, fail fast, and then identify what we can actually take to market that actually gives us credibility, works, and integrates with existing systems and platforms.
Okay. And are you finding that in your role you kind of have to maybe sell the benefits of AI a little bit, either to your clients or even internally? Is that kind of part of what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Internally, not so much. I think we're already seeing a lot of fruitful results from kind of implementing AI solutions across the board. One of the recent ones we did in our hackathon, which we have every summer, was a resourcing tool. So we used LangGraph to create an agent to understand what projects were coming up, what skills we needed for the project, how long the project was, who was available, which geographic region they were in, to kind of foster that stakeholder management. And we automated the allocation process. So that's what our team did. There were many of the great solutions. And we continuously kind of have a huge backlog of what we want to do across the business internally. But kind of externally, we see more variation. There are those customers that are right at the beginning of their data and AI journey, and they're still kind of getting to grips with maybe having the right data platform in place, so they have that single source of truth for data that's reliable and consistent. Likewise, they have governance. They may or may not have governance in place to understand who has data ownership over certain bits of data, and that security element really plays a role in there. Understanding the data quality, is it good enough to actually be put in an AI solution? And then finally, obviously, building those kind of really key and clearly defined AI use cases where there is a very clear definition of what the return is expected. We sometimes do get scenarios where we're asked to go in and say, well, show us what you can do, which I can show you a lot of different things, because the capabilities of AI have literally exploded over the last 2 years. But it kind of helps to refine the conversation to something very specific. So if you do have that kind of, here are my key cost centers, here is where I can maybe see us pushing the boundaries of revenue generation, then you can kind of really start to make an impact. And then obviously there's the final bucket of innovation. How can you push the boundaries and push the industry further?
Okay, so it sounds like a complicated job where you're a bit of everything. That's good. Welcome to the new world. Really quickly as we come towards an end here, if you were to name three great skills that people should be starting to invest in if they ultimately want to move down the path to being a chief AI officer or a head of AI themselves. What would those three skills be? What should they be good at?
The first and foremost, I would say build an experiment. Just the rate at which technology is advancing, tools. So, for example, the way that retrieval augment generate type architectures worked before have already rapidly changed to more agentic workflows. So, if you're not continuously experimenting and building, you very quickly become kind of redundant in your capabilities. So I think that's a non-negotiable for me, regardless of where you sit in an organizational hierarchy. Those skills are kind of the fundamental foundation of being successful in the AI space. Secondly, I would say one that's kind of growing in importance even more is having that cross-discipline interaction. So whether you're speaking to designers, because now the UI aspect of AI solutions is becoming more and more prominent, is a very important factor to keep in play. And then finally, I would just say kind of have fun with it. It's very capable, and if you can't have that playful, fun aspect with it, it's not interesting. And what you can bring to the table is likely not going to be the best that you can. So yeah, absolutely have fun with it.
All right, great skills. Thank you. We're right at time, but I love to ask everybody the same question. And that is, what's your one hot tip for someone just starting out in AI?
Don't be afraid to experiment. Just get
Mm,
stuck in.
get your hands dirty, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, look, this has been a great AI in 5. I really appreciate it, Darshna, and I look forward to chatting again.
Likewise, Simon. Thank you so much for having me.